and gentlemen. Today we are starting with the crash of the stock market. As we all know, our stock market started to decline in September, but as of yesterday, it completely crashed. Officials are now referring to it as Black Tuesday. Right before the crash, shares were traded at an all-time high, up to 12 million. And the unemployment rate is also at an all-time high, 15 million Americans with no jobs. Bankers are attempting to stabilize our market by buying great blocks of stock.
Hannah, how did this happen? President Hoover promised us a chicken in every pot and a car in every garage.
I have no idea. Let's check with our local banker.
Good news? Our stock market prices have nowhere to go but up. Although somehow they continue to drop as we enter a Great Depression. I wish I had more for you, but that's all I got. Back to you.
Alright, thank you, sir. Let's see what Victoria has to say, located at Hoover's Dam.
I'm here right in front of the Hoover Dam. Let's first discuss what he has done in his presidency. Although he has been known for dithering the face of the economic struggle, his administration has launched a massive public works program, which partly funded for his dam here on the Colorado River. They also implemented stronger protections for labor and increased federal subsidies for agricultural. Then there is the Glass-Steagall Act of 1932, which our president has played a big role in passing. This act is an attempt to limit the activities of commercial banks and hopefully stabilizing the banking sector. However, these policies seem to be ineffective and have actually worsened the depression. He recently signed for the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, which raised tariffs on thousands of imported goods and worsened the local economic downturn. Now, let's talk about this dam. It is the tallest one in the world with 6.6 million tons of concrete. If measured, it would go from San Francisco all the way to New York. This has fulfilled the goal of distributing the river through the Southwest and generated electricity for 1.3 million. Now over to you, Alexandra.
I'm here in what has been nicknamed Hooverville, basically where homeless have found shelter. Homelessness have massively increased following the very high unemployment rate. Most try to squeeze in with relatives, found shelter in bridges or vacant public land or crude shacks. The Hoovervilles now stretch from New York to Los Angeles, with a population of 13 million. Yet the little money our government has isn't going to the homeless or the sick or hungry. Abdul, do you have anything better to report?
Actually, so recently, along with the Great Depression, the U.S. is getting soil erosion covering over 150,000 square miles. It covers Oklahoma, Kansas, New Mexico, and Texas Panhandle. These areas are having little to none rainfall with light soil. There's also high winds. This means this is all considered creates a bad combination. Many Americans. These dust storms have choked and killed cattle, leaving many U.S. areas with a lack of meat and dairy to produce. And 50% of the population has been forcibly driven out due to health risks. We now call these people exodusters. To attempt to fix all these things, our new president, Franklin D. Roosevelt, has launched a federal program, the New Deal. The New Deal has already stabilized banks as well as cleaning up the financial mess left over from the stock market crash. The New Deal has created a multitude of agencies to provide jobs for millions of workers and pay wages. that saved millions of destitute families. This program has built hundreds of highways, bridges, hospitals, homes, and airports across America. American citizens everywhere are rejoicing in FDR's New Deal program. The best news I can deliver over to you in the studio.
Thanks, Abdul. Although this New Deal is greatly supported, there are a few people and groups who continue to criticize it. Liberals seem to believe Roosevelt hasn't done enough to help the poor, and conservatives think the New Deal gave the government too much power and control of the agriculture. The Supreme Court has also ruled it unconstitutional, but President FDR is still trying to push it through and appoint more Supreme Court justices. We're to Alexandria with our First Lady.
I have in the studio First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, ready to talk about our working women. So, Ms. Roosevelt, how many women would you say are working in our lovely nation?
Around 11 million hard-working women have jobs here in our nation.
75% of those women are nurses or teachers who have been entered twice as fast as men.
That's primarily because we're willing to work for much less and work just as long.
So according to the Social Security Administration, women's average annual pay is half as men's. Is that true?
Yes, sadly, we are working the same hours and the same conditions, but we are working less. But I am actually involved in a feminist forum, and we are trying to get to fix that as soon as possible.
And just recently, you have organized the Get Out and Vote campaign.
Yes, I believe that women should play just as men do.
Thank you, Ms. Roosevelt. Back to you, Victoria.
Alexandra. Alright guys, to finish off today's show, we will be talking about President FDR's proposal of court packing. After his 1936 election, he has proposed this bill of court packing to expand the Supreme Court for more balanced opinions. He believes that there should be one more justice for each one over the age of 70 and reach a max of 15 people. However, now that his plan has been made public, it has been widely criticized, causing him to lose an immense deal of political support. Because his motive was to get his New Deal bill passed by Congress, yet his drive to get it passed by Congress fell through and was found unconstitutional.
This has been Network CBC.
Come back tomorrow night for more news and updates.